will only contribute to the number of pending litigations across the country. So at least on that, and perhaps, and also because the court itself has said in the past that on principle in the TT Anthony case and other cases, that for one offence, the same offence, there should only be one FIR, there can't be multiple FIRs.
See, you're right. TT Anthony says that in one set of circumstances, one set of facts, where the cause of action is the same, or if they arise out of the same incident, there should ideally be one FIR. But see, the times which you live in, where information gets circulated or viral, gets viral in movements, it is not possible to contain that only one FIR will be lodged. Separate FIRs, because they are different states, eventually they get lodged differently. But see, Nupur Sharma's case is a unique case where a petitioner is before the Supreme Court, where the highest court of the country is saying that I'm invoking Constitution before you, saying that I can't go to all these places because there have been open threats of rape, and murder being issued against me. So kindly protect me. I'm not shying away from investigation. I'm not shying away from, subjecting myself to trial. But please protect me. So the purport of the order which has been passed today is that they have not issued notice in the writ petition filed by Nupur Sharma, but in the MA filed by her, the application filed by her to the states on the limited issue that whether these can be clubbed together and they can be transferred to one particular high court's jurisdiction where due process of law will take course. Now, as an interim measure, if they don't provide her, because the state of West Bengal, for example, in two FIRs, NBWs have been issued against her. So if they don't protect her, the multiplicity of litigations, or it comes into picture much later. But prima facie, not keeping pendency of litigation into mind, the Supreme Court is duty bound in Article 32 petition to protect the interests of a citizen before it.
So no, but the protection of interest should apply to all citizens. No, why should it apply only to one set of citizens?
Yes, no, it should apply to everyone, all citizens of this country equally. Now, that is why I said that Nupur Sharma's case stands on a slightly different footing. See, Zubair's case is on a different footing. We can't compare apples and oranges. Zubair had already been, taken into custody by police of one particular state. So his case is slightly different. Nupur Sharma was not arrested by any of the state police, and she was apprehending arrest, and NBWs were issued against her. And she alleged, or rather she complained to the court that if I go there, I may be, butchered like anything. So, the level of the level of protection which I am demanding from the court is at a much higher pedestal.
What has changed? What has changed between July 1 and today, July the 19th? On July 1, the court, in fact, admonished her, saying that she has a loose tongue. She is single-handedly responsible for what is happening in this country, including in Udaipur, where a tailor was hacked. The question that's being asked, Aishwarya Mahadev, has something changed? The court says yes, the level of threats that she's facing has increased dramatically in the last 19 days. But other than that, is there anything on merit that has changed for the same petitioner who withdrew the petition before the court to approach the same court and the same bench, asking for two things: one, expunging of the remarks, and two, clubbing of all the FIRs?
Zaka, if I'm not wrong, I think, she did have the privilege of having a different bench, one. The second thing also, Zaka, the thing that you look at when the judiciary talks there about the hate and her being single-handedly responsible, I think she's symptomatic of the larger problem. But also when the judiciary did make that remark, if you look at the entire machinery that went against him, I'm sure a lot has changed. In terms of how they were spoken to or what orders came in where. I'm not going to presuppose that. But Zaka, one single point, there's a lot of talk about double jeopardy. There's a lot of talk about these several FIRs being infructuous. They're causing frustration. They're causing, this protracted legal battle and whatnot. If she wants to have it clubbed, because previously the court said you go back to the original, high court to get them to be clubbed, but forget that. If the Supreme Court allows her to club these FIRs, well and good. But at the end of the day, the point needs to be that a crime has been committed and action needs to be taken. You want to club FIR?
But here's the thing, Aishwarya. I mean, you can extend this to other cases as well. We've seen cases of journalists where supposedly something was said on a show, a particular show, one telecast, right? But multiple FIRs have been filed in multiple states, or multiple FIRs have been filed in different districts in the same state, where the said offence was not even committed there. The problem is that when comments are made either on electronic media or on social media, FIRs get lodged dime a dozen across the length and breadth of this country. For example, in Nupur's case itself, she said one comment on one show in one particular place. But look at the FIRs that have been filed from all the way from Kashmir to Karnataka. There are cases registered against her.
Zaka, we've seen this happening to my leadership also, where you see our leaders having to travel across for cases also. Irrespective, if you want to club that together, well and good. If you want to make it more convenient for it to be tried at one place, well and good. And you know, she has that privilege that even Mr. Stan Swami did not, to even have an emergency hearing, because you know the man languished for however long in custody, and that is what's the most unfortunate. And but today, if she has that privilege, yes, you want to club it, give her that, but also give her the trial that has to happen, because a crime has been committed according to the law of the land. And as much as we condone the threats against her, action must be taken, because when you do not,
Let me